just like that, we are back. Hope you missed me. I definitely missed you. I think that might have been the longest time that the show has been off the air, and I felt a little sense of loss. So it's good to be back. Good to be back in the studio, back in the saddle again. Let me take a quick look around and make sure everything is in order. As those of you know, we had that one show where I forgot to hit the start button. We did a whole show and nothing went out to the internet. Nothing went. But we look like we're going live to YouTube. We got some live viewers ready to go. We got our guests in the virtual green room. The green M&M jars have been restocked since the last time. Usually mention the first person that checks in on the chat, but I'm not going to because he was cheating. That boy was cheating, and he was on before the show even started. So Mitchie the bot, Fortnite, yeah, I think we're not going to mention you again ever. He says XL, which is correct. This is episode XL, Roman numerals for 40. This is our 40th episode. Can you believe it? We're trying to do 3 episodes a week. We're only going to probably hit 2. I was thinking of squeezing one in tomorrow, but I think we'll definitely take my birthday off. May 14th, don't forget. There is no drive-by, nothing. There'll be no program. If you run into me, just remember to say happy birthday. All right, with that, let's get on with our first guest of the night. Joining us live on Co-Video Live TV. Let me turn the audio up. Let me check in on the virtual green room. She seems to be ready to go. All right, let's give a nice Co-Video Live TV welcome to Grace Cordero. Welcome, Grace.
Hi.
All right, good audio levels and everything. So how are things going for you? Where are you calling in from? Let our folks know.
I'm calling in from Hammond, Indiana.
Right. I was out that way. How long ago? A few weeks back when we had your little event?
May 1st.
May
1st.
May 1st. Tammy and I and the kids, we were all together with about 50 other vehicles. We paraded past your house, right?
Yes. So, yeah, I was surprised by May 1st would have been my 10-year breast cancer free anniversary. I actually missed that by a little bit, but so my husband surprised me with the parade of about 50 plus cars, and it was amazing. It was totally unexpected. I did not expect that, and it was emotional, and you guys showed up and you made me a sign that says Grace Rocks, which is awesome.
Which is true.
And gave me some little things. So it was amazing. It was so nice, so unexpected and emotional. So
yeah,
very cool.
Did Tammy ever get back there? The Chaya kids, Dawn and my wife, Tammy, had something for George too. A little thank you for him for what he was doing. And it might still be in our car. It was like a little bit of beer for him. Did he ever get it?
Yeah. He didn't get no presents. I got all the presents.
Well, we got to make that right. We will make that right eventually.
Back to Hammond, Indiana you go.
Yeah, exactly. We will be back up there. We will be. Hey, What were we talking about earlier? Oh, I usually like to talk a little bit about what people are up to. Can we talk a little bit about work? Because you are back to work, right?
Yes, I'm back to work. So I work for Ethos Dental Group and M&P Dental. They're a joint corporation of a couple of dentists over in Munster, Indiana. And we got back to work last week. And so the thing we're having to do is taking a lot of precautions. Patients come in, we're checking them for their temperatures, asking them like 10 questions regarding if they've been out of the country, things like that. And it's a lot. So gloves and masks, and the doctors are wearing 2 masks, and the doctors are wearing shields and gowns that they have to take off before they leave the room. So it's a lot. Patients are a little nervous, but we're really busy. People are wanting to get their teeth cleaned. People are wanting to get their teeth ground on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to be back to work, but it's a different world we live in. It's not the norm. Every time they leave the chairs, we have to go out and clean them, which makes them content, but it's just a different way of doing things.
Yeah, I had a dentist on, a friend of mine, parent of our kids at school, Dr. Lynn Carr, and she was talking about how dentists and dentistry is already they're typically wearing masks and they're already gloved up and doing a lot of things already, but taking it even to another level is something else. Huh?
Right. The gown, the N95 mask, and then the mask over that. Not taking their scrubs home. They tend to wash them there at the office. So we've got Dr. Mark Stojkovic, Dr. George Politicus, Dr. Nick Polite, and Dr. Michael Martell. So those are a few of the dentists that work there, and they're doing a lot for their clients, things like that. So it's a lot for the dentists, but they want to, take their, put themselves at, less risk and their patients. So
Yeah, including the employees that work there too, and
yeah,
you mentioned
yeah,
being immunocompromised due to your
yeah, I'm
cancer history. Yeah,
immunocompromised.
that they were
So I
keeping you trying to keep
yeah.
minimizing your contact as well, right?
Yeah, so I have to be careful not to go in the back that much because the aerosol that comes out of the patient's mouth. So you have to be careful. So I'm wearing a mask if I walk out. I'm wearing a mask most of the time. It's hard because you can't breathe and I'm claustrophobic. So it's a lot
Right.
to deal with. I don't know. And then I have glasses at work. So I can't breathe and they fog up. And I had a patient tell me yesterday, well, if you breathe in, then the fog goes away. I'm like, yeah, but if I breathe out, the fog
I
comes
can't
back.
hold
So
my breath out there. Yeah, I wear glasses too, and I don't know. There's just things that others may have known, but I learned that if you put your glasses down at the end of your nose real far, then there's room for the
oh,
steamy air to get by, and
I
you
need
don't
to
run
do that.
into stuff.
Actually, I brought my glasses to see. I'm like, okay, I got my glasses on. So I'll have to,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
it.
you're right.
As long as you don't, as long as you're not tripping over people. Hey, in our pre-conversation, you said I'll talk about anything. In fact, you even
Pretty
mentioned you
much.
said I do want to talk about cancer. People shy away from it. You're a cancer
Yes.
survivor. You're living with it.
Yes.
Can you?
Yeah.
And I said, how are things going for you in the age of COVID? And they do kind of overlap. You were talking about some of the challenges you had with some of your recent treatment or doctor visit, right?
Yes, I did. So in March, right before COVID got really crazy, I had, like I said, it was almost at my 11-year mark of being breast cancer free. And I basically started having pain with the doctor, found out I actually have stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. So being with that, now I'm going to University of Chicago and getting treated. And to go there, it's just a whole new world. Like I got sick before from some medicine before one of my biopsy surgeries. And from that, they told me, oh, you have the coronavirus, which I didn't, but they send you to a floor. They treat you like, the nurse was patient zero. So it was really weird to be in that, like, wow, I'm causing someone to be patient zero, but I wasn't. But that's just how they have to react to it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I was, I wasn't, they had to treat me at that. And I've been tested twice because of that, and just having a sore throat and they think you have it. Not everybody has coronavirus, but you have to be aware. And being that I have cancer, it makes me more at risk. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a scary thing. And people don't talk about cancer. They shy away from it. And I might have stage 4, but I don't plan on leaving the world anytime soon. So
Mm-hmm. All
I'm
right.
a bit of a fighter and I'm too mean to go. So I plan on kicking his butt as long as I can.
All right. Excellent. Hey, how come George didn't join the show? Did you tell him not to? He couldn't, or did he wimp out?
Oh no, I told him to, but he's very shy. Except when he doesn't want to be. He's on the other side of the door, probably listening to me.
He's getting it live before the
George,
30-second
they
delay.
want to hear
you. That's funny. So, we were talking also a bit about getting out and what things that we miss during this whole COVID lockdown.
Yeah.
A lot of carry out food and everything. We talked a bit about getting out to a restaurant, actually having a
Yes.
dinner eventually, having somebody wait on us, right?
Yes, I did. So today actually we went to Tomato Bar and I called to order my pizza, which I love the Magic Potion pizza over there at Tomato Bar in Cherville, Indiana. And she's like, well, we got the drive-through, which I didn't know they had drive-through. So they, if you've ever been to that Tomato Bar in Cherville, they had a patio area.
Mhm.
So they took some walls down and there was a drive-through window up there, but I didn't realize that they actually could use it. So now you just drive up and they open these big doors and they give you your food, which was wild. But I just miss sitting in a restaurant
Mhm.
and just
Mhm.
having a cocktail and having a meal and conversation and just being in that environment. So yeah, we do miss out on that a little bit,
Yeah,
but
even
I
though
still give back. Yeah.
it's not not an elegant dining room, but I'm looking forward to being able to sit in Chick-fil-A. I've had 2 or 3 Chick-fil-A
I
meals in the parking lot of
love
South Lake Mall,
Chick-fil-A.
right? It's not
Yes,
fine dining,
totally.
and they do kind of wait on you though. They're pretty nice there,
They
but
have flowers that are fresh flowers. That's really nice. My
Mhm.
daughter loves Chick-fil-A. I think she goes there at least once or twice a week.
Mhm.
So yeah, we're big fans of Chick-fil-A and I wouldn't mind sitting in there. I don't care where it's at. Just I want normalcy because of what's going on, that my cancer coming back right at the time of coronavirus is creeping its head up. It's like hard for me to accept that, I just can't. I want to hug people. I'm a hugger. So I just want, like, I had that parade and every person that passed by, I wanted to give them a hug. And
Mhm.
that made it more emotional. Like, you just want to connect with people because, when you're going through something like this, that's half the battle, having people around that you can just be around and talk to and touch and feel, like, that life is still moving on, and it's not, it feels like it's halted at the same time as my cancer coming. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. It's a little tough, but I just got to remember that this too shall pass, as they say.
What would your main advice be to people facing hardship? I mean, what buoys you?
Just keep remembering what you're living for. The thing that I keep telling myself, and it's this weird thing I keep saying, is that I want to talk to a therapist because I'm like, I'm tired of crying or being emotional. I want to live for today and not the fear of dying tomorrow. I'm here now. And if I'm only here for a day, I need to make the best day I have, instead of thinking, okay, I may die in a year or two. Well, then I better make that the best 2 years I've got, like, instead of being so sad. So it's really hard to remind yourself. Sometimes you have the simplest thoughts of, okay, I'm going to buy these clothes, but why am I buying clothes if I'm going to die? But it's not a death sentence. Stage 4 doesn't always mean that, everybody having cancer can fight until you feel it's, you're tired of fighting. But this battle just started for me. Mm-hmm. It may be round 2, but I plan on winning it just like I did the first time. So they just need to stay strong, don't be scared of it. Don't shy away from it, because you let it win when you bow down and just lay down and let it take you. Don't let it take you.
Do you stay in contact with anybody that you met throughout the treatment? I know others who have been through breast cancer treatments, and they tend to meet either nurses or other patients through either just meeting in waiting rooms and doctors' offices, or through some sort of groups. Are you still in contact with people that you keep in touch with?
Yes, I am. I have a couple people that I did the Avon walk many years ago. I did the 39 miles in Chicago, and I met a woman on Facebook. Her name is Shane, and I don't even remember where she lives, but me and her through Facebook and things like that. And then I had recently changed careers into insurance, and I met a girl through that, and she had breast cancer 9 years ago, and she survived. Her aunt has stage 4 metastatic. She introduced us. I don't know her, but it's been amazing, because she's telling me how she's dealing with it. I'm telling her how I'm dealing with it. And we're just helping each other, because her treatments are different than mine. And she's telling me how she's keeping her head above water and having that positive attitude. Mm-hmm. So yes, you really does help to reach out to people who are dealing with it, because that helps you see what maybe you're not doing that might help you get through another day and be positive. Mm-hmm. Staying positive is the best thing. I have 2 kids. I have a 24-year-old daughter, 21-year-old son, and I want to be around for them, and I want them to stay positive. You never know what life's going to throw at them, and they need to know that everything's fightable if you have the background, the friends. I have a lot of friends and family that are huge support system for me. That parade alone boosted me so much, and that was my husband's intent, to boost me, because he knew I was having a rough time. Because you get told a couple of bad news, couple of scans go bad, they're like, this and this and this. Well, you know what? Okay, let's go to the next one. So
couple people checking in. Grace, Tammy Smolin, I know her, my first wife. You go, Grace. She says, you go, Grace. XOXO.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah, so it is key during times of crisis to maintain connections with people, to know it's trite, but we're all in this together. I call that one of the 4 unprecedented times, uncertain times, and we're all in this together. We're all getting tired of hearing that, but it is true,
it's
right? True.
It's very true. And just you doing this is really, I watch these, and they're funny, and it changes your thoughts from Corona to something funny and lighthearted. It doesn't have to be all serious all the time.
Right.
Just breathing fresh air seems so simple and weird, but today we went to the park in Centennial and just sat there and had our pizza. And then there was a random jazz, grooving band sitting out there. Some young guys just started a band. They were just there playing at Centennial, and we sat down and watched that. And that was fun, unexpected fun, mm-hmm. And I stopped thinking about my problems for a minute, and that's what life's about. This right here,
right. Speaking of tuning in and forgetting about your problems, I have to say you have the best lighting of any of my guests so far.
That's that Amazon light for my vanity mirror.
All right, it looks like a YouTube a how-to makeup video or something going here, or
Right,
some
right.
sort
Let
of
me do my
Instagram.
makeup. Hold on. Let me show you guys. This is how you put your powder on. Okay.
I need to get an artist in here. I've got bright lighting just so I show up good on video, and all it does is make me look bad. I don't know what you're doing. I need
Stop.
you need to send me the link of the Amazon
I'll
store
send
you
you the
got
link for
that
these
from.
lights.
Yeah,
And you put them
exactly.
all around you. They have little
Magic.
stickies on them.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, is there anybody that you want to say hello to? I told you it would go fast. We're leaving a little bit over,
Yeah.
but our other guests can
I
wait.
would
Who do you
like
want to say hello
hi
to?
Well, my husband George Cordero, my kids Sabrina and Brandon, my cousin Beverly Strickland. I love her to death. I told her I'd shout out to her. All my friends and family who've been there for me and are still being there for me. I love you guys, and thank you, Ron, for having me on. This was so fun.
Oh,
It was
it's
so
nothing.
fun.
It's nothing. Your positivity does it happen? Have you ever noticed it has an effect on people to make them feel guilty that they're not so damn positive as you are?
I've had people tell me that a couple times, but they say I could never do what you do. I go, I promise you can. I don't have superpowers, but I love people. I love life. And that's how I plan on keeping this to the very end. I don't plan on it stopping or ending anytime soon.
Excellent. Hey, good note to end on. And as this drags on, and as we reduce our broadcast schedule to maybe fewer days, I'd still like to have you come back. Would you be available to
most
return?
definitely.
Can we?
And I'll bring George with.
Can we convince George too?
Oh yeah, maybe he'll play a little acoustic for you. Him and Brad.
Brad Kleinschmidt, the only musical appearance on the show ever. Yeah, I've been promising
I think him and George should do some music. They're talented. They're friends. I think they can do something. I'll work on that for you.
Thank you, Grace. All right, you have a good evening.
You.
Stay safe.
All right, say hi to your second wife there for me.
First wife. Bye.
Oh, first, you got a next one. Okay, gotcha. Sorry, Tammy. All right, love you guys.
Have a good night.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, there goes Grace. All right, we're going to bring up the logo here and switch over to our second guest. Stay close, stand by. All right, and just like that, we are back. Co-Video Live TV, episode XL 40, part 2. I have to apologize. I switched to Zoom. Those of you who've been watching the show for a while, we switched to Zoom so that we can, it just works out better with no passwords and such required, or logins. But at any rate, they seem to be a little bit laggy. So when we try to get rid of one guest and drag another out of the virtual green room, it always a little extra time, and I apologize for that. So, without any further ado, let me turn up the audio here. Let's bring in our second guest. Give a nice Co-Video Live TV welcome to Brian Dainton. Hello, Brian.
Hey, Ron. How are you?
I am doing well today. So, let me just make sure everything's cool. I asked guests to talk a little bit about work, talk about home, whatever they want to talk about. Can we jump right in real quick and talk a bit about work? Maybe people would want to hear what you do.
Yeah, but I have to interrupt you a little bit just for, first of all, what an inspiration, what a brave woman Grace is. So I've got to follow up. I've got to follow up that. I mean, she was phenomenal. So
I set you up.
Tune out now. Yeah. Thank you very much. I got to follow that. What an inspiration and thoughts and prayers to the family. So,
yeah.
But yeah, back to I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, but I mean, she's always looking toward the future, and part of planning for the future, here would lead into you, is planning your financial future, right? So maybe there you go. How about that as a transition?
Yeah, there you go. So for the last 2 years, I've worked for a company called Morningstar, which is it's based out of Chicago. The guy that founded it back in the mid '80s is Joe Mansueto. He grew up in Munster.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole premise of the company, our goal is that, we exist to make life easier for investors and to make their decision, to help them in the decision-making process, whether they're buying stocks, whether they're buying mutual funds. And, I can't get into too much in terms of stock picking. That's what I do. Personally, what I do is I deal with large advisors and institutional money managers and help them pick stocks. Mm-hmm. If you're looking for ratings and people to tune in, you don't want to get into too much of the details of what I do, but that's what I do. I help them pick stocks by giving them reports, charts, pictures, whatever an investor uses all the tools an investor uses to pick a stock. That's what I do.
And I'm not going to put you in a spot and ask you for the guaranteed winner that tomorrow morning is going to. I understand the legal obligations you have not to do that stuff, but I did want to talk. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to talk in general about how COVID-19 and the whole lockdown has affected how you do your job and how people are. How you're able to help people out.
Well, I think one positive out of this is, I deal with my clients via phone calls, emails, or face-to-face. And since you can't do face-to-face, there's really no difference from me being in the office in Chicago, which is, our office, our headquarters, or, where the CBS studios are, right there in the Loop. Mm-hmm. So, selfishly, this has been, I'm able to do my job as effective, or if not more, than not having that 3-hour commute. So that's me selfishly. That being said, our CEO, who took over about 6 or 7 years ago, is very conservative in terms of where we are locked down. We got kicked out of our offices on March 15th. And so I've been working from home with my lovely daughters, all 3 of them, since March 15th. And we don't have any plans to go back until Chicago is, potentially until there's a vaccine. So this is the new normal. It's kind of is what it is. And like what I was getting at with how I deal with my clients is it's no different. I mean, I'd be, whether I'm emailing or calling from the office or here in Indiana, other than the crappy Wi-Fi, there's really no difference.
I saw that. I heard some little audio, but you're holding in there. But you're looking really good even at the low bit rate. You're looking awesome, Brian. I have to say.
Yes. Hold on. It's unstable. There we go. Hold on.
Yeah, I know.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me
now? Yeah. Roll with it. Just roll with it, like the major networks.
Yeah. Okay. I'm back.
Yeah, that's what I was curious on. So have you seen, again, without getting into legal issues, what would general advice be to investors right now? It's just uncertainty is a given. There's no one knows the future, or we'd all be millionaires off the stock market. But as far as trading and investing during this time, what would your guidance be to people? What has it been?
It depends. It depends on the end and the customer's age. Like if it's a friend of mine who's in their 50s or 60s, I maybe dial risk back. But what I tell my clients so most of my clients, give an example, someone in St. Louis manages $4 billion and he has to invest in large cap growth stocks. So for that client, I would say you got to stay the course, and you got to look at the companies that, Morningstar, the concept behind Morningstar is we're very, our framework is based on a moat methodology. So a company like Microsoft has a wide moat. What's that mean? They have the switching costs, and they've got the deals with the PC makers. They've got things in place that make it very difficult for a competitor to come in and replicate what they're doing. Mm-hmm. So we always at Morningstar, we focus on putting clients into wide moat stocks that they've got barriers, they've got things built into their business model that are going to stave off the competition. So companies like Microsoft, I focus on a lot of tech companies. That's just who I am. A company called ServiceNow is a company that I really, really like. There's a company called Tyler Technologies, which is their clients are municipalities and local governments, and Tyler Technologies builds software that run those governments. It could be anything. You think about a government office, they can have 10 different systems. Tyler Technologies is the main producer of that software. So it's a software company that handles. I can hear people dropping off.
No, I'm curious if you have to be. I'm curious if you are stepping into dangerous waters and talking about specific companies.
No, I can talk about it. I'm not, look, with any investment, there's risk that you're going to lose all your money. But these are companies that I think that that are going to be here for the long haul. And Tyler's one. It's actually fairly valued now. So if you're looking to buy it, I wouldn't buy it now, but I'd wait for, if you look at the price chart on it, it's trading at an all-time high, but it's after 3 months ago was, I think it's up 30 or 40% in the last 4 months. So
I asked you earlier, and you said I'll elaborate later. My son, he's just starting to get interested in investing, and he thinks he's going to make a fortune. And he saw gas prices go super low, right? And then thought oil stocks, anything related to oil would be such a winner. How could it won't last? They'll be back. What happened there?
The problem with oil stocks, in my mind, are you can be the best E&P, where you're exploration and production, where those are the companies that are pulling the oil out of the ground, or the producers like the Exxon Mobils. You can be the best company in the world, but you have no control over the underlying commodity with the prices. That's the Saudis, it's the Russians, it's the old OPEC situation. I have a hard time talking to clients about oil companies. No offense for any of your viewers that are in the oil industry, but yeah, it's there's too much uncertainty.
You're not insulting my 12-year-old son, believe me.
Yeah. So Mitchell Fortnite. What's his name?
Mitchie
Mitchell,
the bot Fortnite over here in the chat. Yes.
Yeah. You can probably see him from actually outside our window.
Yeah, that's true. You are not too far from the neighborhood out here. Switching gears somewhat, or taking a step back. What are your thoughts on when a vaccine will come out? You got any prognostication on that?
I mean, I don't have a crystal ball. No one does. I don't think. I'm encouraged by the fact that there's 3 or 4 big, real biotech pharmaceutical companies that are moving past. They're testing it, but they're also moving into the production phase, right? Willing to, because you usually don't start producing in the millions and billions in terms of unstable. Am I back?
Yeah, no, you're just keep rolling.
Okay.
You're a little weak, but you're fine.
My computer said I was unstable.
I
like the fact that there's 3 or 4 pharmaceutical companies that are going forward with producing in mass,
right?
Before we get through all the testing phases. So I think best case end of the year. That's what our healthcare analysts are saying. End of the year there'll be something in place.
What's your gut tell you? What does your gut tell you about when we should be? What steps we should be taking to get back to normal, getting people working and opening up? Anything?
I think it depends. It depends on where you work. To be honest, I mean that's kind of a cop out. In Chicago, I wouldn't be comfortable going back to Chicago just because I typically take the train. Part of me thinks that I got a freshman in college. It should be at college. Actually, no, she should be home by now. But something tells me that there's something to this herd immunity. Sending kids back to college might make sense. I mean, they typically, when you look at all the projections and the death rates, whatever the case, and those depressing charts, they're not impacted, right? That's just my personal view. I mean, I don't want to get too political. I don't get political, but I think there's something said to getting the kids back to school.
You went to IU, right? You're wearing the IU shirt right there, right?
Yeah.
Do you think
Yes,
IU
sir.
will be back in live schooling in August, September?
I've got some friends that live in Bloomington, and right now the president said there's a very slim chance we're going to start on time.
Mhm.
I can see them going back, but maybe after Labor Day,
Yeah.
in a controlled. I don't want to say controlled, but in a limited fashion.
Mhm.
Maybe they go to class. Maybe there's, I don't know. It's a very dynamic situation. Very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Unprecedented, uncertain.
Yeah, unprecedented, yeah.
Name the trio of the ones you hear in the ads all the time. The unprecited times. We're all in this together.
Sorry. Yeah.
No,
sorry.
Guests are welcome to have a beverage.
You can drink.
Definitely.
Okay, thank you.
The FCC doesn't control what happens on YouTube. I don't think. And this program isn't made for kids, so don't worry about it. So you must be having a lot of TikTok uploads or something going on over there, because your internet does keep dropping out.
We do, yes. It is unbelievable. Yeah, we do TikToks a lot around here. I don't, but there's a lot of TikToks that happen. That's a Chinese company, by the way. A Chinese company owns TikTok. So.
Yeah, heard that a while ago. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, did you hear that there were, I don't know, you wonder if it's true. You start to wonder what's true or not, that there were efforts by Chinese to hack into colleges and universities and companies that are working on vaccines? Had you heard that one?
Yes, I heard that yesterday. I did hear that.
I don't like to repeat information unless I verify it somewhat, but at least it was coming from the federal government.
It is. But I mean, there's always they hack a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that they, but if they hack and it helps the world figure it out. Yeah, maybe there's some upside there.
Yeah, I wasn't clear. Yeah, if they were trying to get ahead, and if the information isn't being shared, it should be shared. But I guess I might have misread it. I thought they were hacking in to cause trouble for us, which is just I couldn't see the end game there. I didn't get that.
No. Yeah, I'd say you said it's unprecedented, and Jen and I talk about this probably 10 times a week. She says, I still can't believe this is going on. I still can't believe you haven't been to work in 2 months or whatever. I mean, I still can't believe it's just hard. It hasn't sunk in. It still hasn't sunk in yet. That's what I take away from this whole entire situation.
Yeah.
It's like still doesn't seem real.
Mm-hmm. And nor do we nor do we know what will happen as we continue to return to work and continue to go out and get our hair cut and all that stuff, right? So, all right, Brian, we're getting near the end of the show here. I don't know if you're froze up there, if I shocked you with something I said, but you're not moving at all. Are you back? You all right. Hey, is there anybody you want to say hello to here before I cut you loose?
No, you know what? I haven't really seen anybody in 2 months. So everybody that I haven't seen, I mean, right. How are you? I mean, I said hi to my mom. It was, what else can I say? Kathy Kuchka turned 50 this week. I'll say hi to Kathy Kuchka. Her husband, Steve, hosted a little drive-by this week. That was a lot of fun. Kuchka, that's a great last name. You think about it.
Saw that on Facebook.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's about it. Steve Kuchka, Kathy Kuchka, my mom. Those are 3 people I'd say hi to.
Excellent. Not the family at all?
No, I see them enough.
It's bearing on you. Yeah. I'm going to have you on next time I have a mental health professional on. Maybe we can do a split screen. Maybe we can bring the...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll pay for that, by the way. Right. I would pay for that.
I don't mean to joke. We did have my sister-in-law was on and had some good points. We're going to probably have to bring her back on if Chandra's paying attention. All right, Brian. Appreciate you coming on. Thank you for hanging in there through the wonky Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Well, Ron, thank you very much for having me. 40 episodes. That's something to be proud of. I'm happy to be your 80th guest. I assume that's what I am, the number 80.
Well, kind of. There have been some. It's varied. It's varied. 80-ish.
And most importantly, happy birthday, Ron.
Oh, yep. That'll be tomorrow. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. We'll be taking the day off.
All right. We'll talk soon.
Thanks. You. Bye now. All right. There goes Brian, my neighbor from the neighborhood of St. John. appreciate him coming on tonight. Hopefully we will see everybody back here on Friday. We do have some guests lined up for Friday. It will be our episode number 41. Who'd have thought? And we will be back the following week. I again apologize for ditching everybody on Monday. It just didn't work out. Couldn't make the show. We will be back again next week. We're going to still try and do 3. But again, going forward, we may go back to a 2-day schedule. I don't know. Could be a Tuesday, Thursday. I'm not sure. But as it looks right now, next week we'll be back on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We'll definitely be back with episode number 41 on Friday. So we'll see you in a couple days. If I run into you tomorrow, remember to wish me happy birthday. Mark Zuckerberg and I will be having a drink. We both have a birthday together. And we will see you then. Thank you for coming on tonight, Brian and Grace. Good luck to everybody. Stay safe. Bye now.